What's going on, everybody? KH here. If you hear some weird noises in the back, we got workmen outside with drills, saws, sawzalls, circular saws, hammers. Anyway, they're working. I wanted to talk about large language models because this is something I admit I didn't really understand, nor do I fully understand even now, but bear with me. I didn't understand really what it was at all until recently, and I know a lot of other people don't as well, because in the past, let's say the past year, we've had the term AI thrown around so much in the business world and just in the world in general now. You're hearing AI, this company's moving to AI, they're employing AI, and it's like, okay, artificial intelligence. It's become just a buzzword to help either a stock explode, boost up in value, or just for a company to brag that we've got a lot of AI initiatives. And I think half the 3/4 of the people saying that don't even know what the hell that means. But I wanted to read something off Amazon's AWS website about large language models and why, I originally was going to say that if you have any type of online business, you need to be aware of this and start thinking of the future. But let me tell you, if you're in any business or in almost any job, you have got to understand what the potential implications are going forward. Because I know a lot of people are getting scared. They think my job is going to go away, depending on what industry you're in. And you know what? There's some industries that are going to go away. A lot of it, I think the first one that comes to my mind is customer service. When LLM, large language models, really takes a hold and advances more, and it's going to advance quickly, the repetitive tasks that have to go on, think chatbots, think customer service on the phone, that's all gone. There's not going to be people on the phone anymore. Well, there kind of isn't now, is there? But it's going to take on a whole new thing, and businesses, they're going to be doing this, and a lot of businesses are already moving to that. So I want to read you these 4 paragraphs, make a comment on it, and I want you to really think about this, because it's pretty mind-blowing. And yeah, I admit it's a little bit freaky and scary, but so this just explains what it is. And if you're already an expert on it, just click to the, oh, my cat is meowing. You gotta wait a few minutes for lunch. He's gotta wait. I gotta feed him lunch. Oh, it's 2 o'clock. It's his lunchtime. Hold on. Large language models are very large, deep learning models that are pre-trained on vast amounts of data. Okay, pre-trained, you feed in data and it interprets it and mixes it around and creates stuff. Okay. The underlying transformer, which I admit I don't quite understand that term, but it's maybe sets of data or data chips. Anyway, the underlying transformer is a set of neural networks that consist of an encoder and a decoder with self-attention capabilities. The encoder and decoder extract meanings from a sequence of text and understand the relationships between words and phrases in it. Transformer LLMs are capable of unsupervised training, although a more precise explanation is that transformers perform self-learning. It is through this process that transformers learn to understand basic grammar, languages, and knowledge. Great example, as a lot of people now, ChatGPT or whatever Bing's model is, or does Bing, anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Unlike earlier recurrent neural networks, and I'm not sure what a recurrent neural network is, but obviously earlier, meaning it wasn't as advanced, that sequentially process inputs, Transformers process entire sequences in parallel. This allows the data scientists to use GPUs, processing units, think NVIDIA, get to that in a second, for training transformer-based LLMs, significantly reducing the training time. So they're able to feed in so much more data and it gets processed so much faster and more thoroughly. Transformer neural network architecture allows the use of very large models, often with hundreds of billions of parameters. Hundreds of billions of parameters. Such large-scale models can ingest massive amounts of data, often from the internet, but also from sources such as the Common Crawl, which comprises more than 50 billion web pages, and Wikipedia, which has approximately 57 million pages. Okay, so most people kind of know what this means. I don't claim to understand all of that, but the bottom line is this. A lot of people are saying writing's over. It's all going to be self-generated. I have difficulty agreeing with that. There's a lot of types of writing that are going to be done by computers, and you're already seeing examples of it. But here's the thing in terms of, if you have a business that's based on communicating with the written word, which a lot of businesses are, you're still going to need to connect and create the relationships with those customers. Now, if we get to the point where actual robots are just creating the relationships, well, that's a whole nother game. But I think that's still quite a ways off. But in terms of what we're talking about here with large language models is, for those of you who have any type of business or any type of job which writing is involved, or not even writing, communication, it's going to be the ones who learn how to administer that, how to prompt it. And for those of you who know what prompt engineering is in large language models, it's very fascinating. I've been playing with it. Check it out. So I think that we all have to be very aware of how we can fit into this equation, because this is one thing I 100% believe. We're not going back. This is not a fad. Okay? The genie can't be put back in the bottle. Are there fears and risks? And we all probably have them. Like, what could this turn into? Could these things become self-aware, a la Terminator? I mean, it's kind of crazy. I don't know. I don't think anybody knows. Well, there may be some people who know, but I don't know. But I look at it this way from a business and job perspective. Start learning this stuff now. I'm starting to invest a fairly sizable chunk of my time in learning large language models, ChatGPT, in my business and in my job, because it's going to change a lot of things, and dare I say, it may just change everything. I want to allude to one more thing before I wrap this video up. It's already too long, but when you think of large language models, as I just read here, it's computers that take existing data and then not regurgitate it, but interpret it and redo it and do all the things that it does, which it does stuff that, again, I still don't understand. Think about this. And this, I'm going out on a limb here, but I'd like to hear anybody's thoughts that's watching this. What if there comes a time where there's a computer that doesn't need to tap into existing data to learn on its own? What I mean is that, what if a computer becomes so advanced, it's not tapping into the internet or these huge data structures to do its learning? What if it's able to go out in just the world? Think of a drone that has, like, for example, like a pipe attached to it. And as the drone is moving, the air comes into the pipe, and because of the actual matter and molecules that come into the pipe, that drone has a built-in supercomputer, right? And it starts to interpret the world, and it's not connected to anything. Now, you're probably sitting there going, man, you've smoked too much weed. I don't smoke weed, by the way. Seriously, think about that. I'm writing some notes down on this. A drone with a pipe that takes in the air, that takes in matter from the world, the environment, and interprets data and turns it into something. Now that's scary. Comment below